3 videos in the one day. That was the plan, to get these out during the week, but YouTube has been an absolute nightmare for me as of late. I've had to edit down a lot of videos, and I've had to change a lot of writing that I'm putting into these videos. I'm not putting anything, offensive. I'm putting in my thoughts. I mean, literally my thoughts. That's what I'm writing on it, and YouTube is not letting me upload them, so I'm having to edit them, which is why I have not been uploading a lot this week. But I'm good to go now, and I want to talk about Canelo Alvarez looking like a welterweight. Now, I've followed Canelo Alvarez for a very, very long time. I want to say since his fight with Austin Trout. I've been a fan of Canelo Alvarez. I've watched Canelo Alvarez. I've always stayed up and, drank coffee and watched Canelo Alvarez fight, because he normally fights don't start till 4 a.m. over here. I've always been a fan of Canelo Alvarez, and lately he's been, getting some justified criticism for failing 2 drug tests. They used the contaminated meat excuse. Now, I'm not going to say whether I buy that or not. I'm not going to accuse Canelo of anything. As you can tell by the title, I'm asking, is he? ? So if anyone of Canelo Alvarez's team sees this, don't sue me. I'm just asking the question. Because Canelo Alvarez, for the past few years, pretty much as far back as I can remember, has looked huge. Like, Canelo Alvarez, he's bigger than Triple G. Canelo Alvarez walks around, I would say, in the 175s, close to 180s. And that's him on fight night. I'd say when he's out of camp, he's never out of shape, but I'd say he's not in as good a shape. So let's say he's in the mid-180s. So Canelo Alvarez is a middleweight / super middleweight. And for years he was at 154 pounds, looking absolutely huge, saying, "Oh, I'm not a real middleweight." Now he's moved up to 160, and for the Triple G fight the first time, he looked huge. He looked huge in the pictures before the weigh-in. He didn't look massively drained at the weigh-in. Like, he looked a lot worse when he was doing 154. But in the ring, he looked bigger. And he looked stronger, and he gassed. It's as simple as that. I think that fight was there for Canelo to win if he could have just kept the pressure going. Because I think that he proved in the first fight, definitely, that he was leagues above Golovkin in just technical department and just in terms of natural talent as a boxer. Golovkin proved to be better as a pressure fighter, great at cutting off the ring, and better stamina, has to be said. But what I'm touching on here is basically Canelo Alvarez, as of late, has been seen in a few Instagram pics looking tiny. He put up a picture on Instagram where he was weighing in for his 30-day WBC weigh-in, and he was 167 pounds. He was actually lighter than Triple G by, I think, a pound. And he looked tiny. Compared to what we normally are used to seeing, he looked very, very, very small. And it really does beg the question that, was Canelo ever on performance-enhancing drugs before? Because he was absolutely huge before, and ever since this whole, we'll say, scandals come out, he doesn't look anywhere near as big. I do find it quite ironic, actually, when come to think of it, that what he was popped for was clenbuterol. And for those who don't know, clen is a diuretic. I know a few people actually in Ireland, actually, in my kind of inner circle, who have used clen. They're not fighters, they're just guys who don't want to go to the gym, and they've stood by clen and said it's brilliant for them. It's a diuretic, basically, and it is banned. It's to help you cut weight. I think that was what Lucas Brown was popped for over in Chechnya when he fought Shigaev. But it's basically to get weight off, which I find quite ironic, considering if Canelo was taking that and he stopped, he looks even leaner now. So, I don't know, I think, make it out what you will. But yeah, he was popped for that. WBC and WBA were straight to give him a pass, and I think the Nevada State Athletic Commission gave him the 6-month suspension so he could take the Triple G fight. I think that came out in, I forget what month it was when that came out in, so don't quote me on it, but it came out about March, I think. Or March or April, it was maybe April, but it came out right about then. And since then, and as you can see by the photo you'll see on screen, there's a picture of Canelo that he put up on Instagram, and I've never seen him looking this lean. I don't think ever. I mean, he literally looks like a 154 pounder, maybe even a welterweight. He did fight a welterweight briefly in his career. It kind of does make me wonder that if, when Canelo was giving us all this BS that I'm not a real middleweight, did he actually mean it in a sense that he's not a real middleweight unless he has some extra help to get there? Because looking at him now, if he said tomorrow, I'm going to fight at 154, yeah, I would no doubt he could make it, looking the way he is now. He looks tiny. Again, I'm thinking as well in the back of my head that he ran out of gas in the Triple G fight, and he was very heavily muscled in that fight. He looked even bigger, I think, than I've normally seen him. A part of me wonders, is he thinking, okay, I have too much muscle to be effective with, that this muscle is just putting too much stress on my lungs, it's slowing me down, and if I really want to beat Triple G, because I already hit hard enough to give him respect, to keep him off me, if I can just keep up the work rate and keep hitting him to the body, I can get him in even more trouble. I can maybe stop him, maybe, that was an ask, but I can definitely win a decision, because I've already been, getting favours from the judges, so if it is a close fight, I know I'm going to get it. That could be what he's thinking, and I'm just asking the question, has Canelo always had extra help when he's, going to these fights prior? Because to go from looking like the way he has, as big as he has in previous fights, to looking like a welterweight in this fight, after this whole saga came out, I gotta ask the question, what's changed in Canelo that made him do this, if any? But they're just my thoughts, when it comes to the whole clown situation, I really don't know. I'm not in the Canelo Alvarez camp. I don't know what's going on. Part of me wants to say, maybe it was the contaminated meat, but at the end of the day, I just don't know. I do find it, how do I put it? I find it a little bit odd that Canelo was the one who got popped, when you see guys who, there's a lot of boxers like Mike Tyson who've said that all the top guys are on PEDs, and I do think they are, and I do think that a lot of PED usage is given a pass on, not just in boxing, in all sports. I remember, 2 years ago, Brock Lesnar, the wrestler, fought in UFC and failed the drugs test from USADA, and the WWE are very strict about basically being clean, basically. And I think that was going into a pay-per-view, one of their pay-per-views that Brock Lesnar was meant to headline. And despite the fact he failed the drugs test, WWE were like, we're bending our own rules because he's going to make us a hell of a lot of money and we want the money. So, Canelo Alvarez, he's going to make people a hell of a lot of money. Same with guys like Anthony Joshua. Same with guys like Deontay Wilder, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather. They would have made guys a lot of money. So, you ask the question, are they given a pass? If any, possibly. But it's hard to tell. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not making any accusations. But those are my thoughts on the whole Canelo Alvarez situation. Like I said, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what he's doing. I expect him to beat Triple G this time around. I expect to win on points. I think it'll be close, but I think he can improve more than Triple G can. So I expect Canelo to win this fight. And yeah, those are my thoughts. So if you got any thoughts, drop them down below. I'm done for the weekend.